What was missing in that early part of the game?
Yeah, I think we just kind of dug ourselves a hole, and it's tough to get out of it when you play a top team like them. But we showed a lot of resilience and fought back and ran into the end. Just a couple of mental lapses at the end there to not get the point and go for the win. But I think we play them in playoffs, so we'll learn from those mistakes and have some confidence going forward in what we did in the second half.
When coach calls you guys over and has kind of like a team meeting, what do you say in that moment?
We were kind of just uplifting each other. Like, it wasn't as bad as it seemed, and I think after that we kind of got into the game slowly but surely, and the second half was a lot better. So we got some positives to take from that second half, and I think moving into playoffs, we'll really look into what we did that second half well.
Sean, this is not your first time facing this team. Of course, obviously, you being the elder statesman of it. What was the other insight you told many of the newer guys about this squad, especially minimizing those mistakes that could really hurt you down the line?
Yeah, I think you give them one chance, especially some of those guys up top like Cucho and some of the other guys like Rossi. You give them one chance, and they'll punish us, and that was evident today early on. And I think rather we experience that now than in the playoffs, and we learn from that. And we feel like we'll be better after watching some video and clips and learning from this game.
Speaking of, although you guys gave up 2 quick goals, you overcame that and came back and scored 2 of your own and worked your way back into the game. Does that give you guys a little bit of confidence knowing that, you know what, okay, this is going to be a long series, and by that, sending a message to that team?
Yeah, I think we showed a lot of resilience, showed a lot of fight in that second half, and we had a lot of chances, and that's a positive. We had chances in the first half too, and I think if we minimize our mistakes in the back and minimize giving them chances, then we should be feeling good, feeling confident about ourselves going into playoffs, and hopefully making a run here.
Third, I asked the coach, having Dylan, of course, naturally was suspended after the Atlanta game. He's coming back for this series, and that's going to be a dynamic. How helpful is that going to be for the defensive core when you guys are going to be facing in this series?
Yeah, I think he's pumped up to be back. I think he was a little pissed at himself for getting that red card, and I think he's a big piece in holding us stability in the back line. I think Columbus is a good team, and we need everybody healthy and available going into the playoffs.
Sean, with the regular season behind you, just as a leader of this team, how would you evaluate the growth from day one to this point?
Yeah, I think a lot of the young players have grown up big time. You kind of see their development from the first game we played at Nashville to now, and everyone's stepped up, whether that's vocally or leading by example on the field. And I think you could point to anyone in the locker room, and they've grown through in practice and in games this year.
Yeah, really good performance in the second half tonight. What was your takeaway from how well the guys did, and how can you bring that into the first couple of games in the playoffs against the same side?
Yeah, I think. To just that things are never as bad as they seem, and we're resilient. We've been resilient this year. We've gone down a couple of times, and we've fought and clawed our way back. But I think we want to get over that hump and not just be resilient to get the tie or be content to tie. I think we want to get over that and get the 3 points, get the win, and it should be a good test against Columbus.
You've been around this team a couple of years at this point. Last year you guys weren't above the playoff line until the last day. This year you're a little above that. But what do you know that this team has to do to take momentum into the playoffs, after playing a couple?
Yeah, I think first off, having a good start. That was evident today. We didn't really get off to the best of starts, a little flat, and not taking control of the game, whether that was defensively or offensively. And I think, going into playoffs, every moment, every mistake is kind of exasperated and kind of expanded upon. And I think we need to just focus in and really dial up a notch this next week going into Columbus.
Last question.
I'm curious what it's been like now that the regular season is over. You've been sharing the armband with Emil Forsberg, Carlos Cornell, and even Daniel Edelman getting some games with the armband. And what has that kind of been like to have that leadership cohort and move the armband around so much?
Yeah, I think as per the previous question, there's been a lot of growth, been a lot of different leadership, a lot of people talking and being leaders on the field and off the field. And I think that's been good that different people have wore the armband. And I think, Emil's experience and Carlos' experience have kind of helped guys feel comfortable to lead. And I think we need everybody to be a leader on the field. And that's going to be a big time going into playoffs. We need everyone healthy, and we need everyone to just kind of have a voice out there.